Oh my god. New episode of Dexter just finished. The series finale though. So this one's crazy. Now, before I talking about how I felt about the last episode, let's talk about why this final episode was so crazy. So the last 5 episodes of season 8, final season, has Dexter ripping and running all through Miami, trying to get his life together before he moves to Argentina with his new girlfriend Hannah and his son. He's gonna find a new life. God, finally, Dexter has a new life where he can be happy without killing other people, without killing murderers. He can just be happy, content with life over in Argentina on a farm. But now we have a plot twist that comes out of nowhere. This crazy lady who knew Dexter's father in past life, a past time before Dexter even knew about it. And that's crazy. And guess what? Her son is a psychopath, and he's a murderer too. Now, just mind blown. The fact that all this comes together in the final season, not expected, none of it, just came out of nowhere. First episode of season 8 has this woman portrayed as this lady who can fix Dexter and control him and tell him, and then she tells him that she could have fixed him and that he didn't need to kill other people. That his mind literally was fixated by his father telling him that he could not change and that he had to channel his emotions. And it's crazy that all this was saved for the final season. But I love it. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's exactly what you need in Dexter's twist and mind-boggling series finale that comes up. So, this final episode that I'm talking about now, I just seen it and it's crazy. It just mind blew me out of the waters. Dexter is by far my favorite show. Literally, the storyline has brought me to believe that this would have been the greatest series finale in the history of TV shows. Okay, it's just that everything, seasons 1 through 4, best seasons for sure. Most action, storylines are new and fresh, nothing revisited. Seasons 5 through 7, a little seeing too much of the same things. Dexter couldn't be with a girl, sad. Dexter couldn't be with a girl, sad. Dexter couldn't be with a girl, sad. These girls keep revolving in his life, and we get it. Like finally, okay, we get it. Dexter's too crazy, psychopath, driven in his life to have a girl. But you bring another girl in the next season, like we get it. He cannot live his life with a girl, but then another thing happens. He brings the girl back at the end the series finale, okay? And it's supposed to be perfect. You're setting up now that everything's perfect, everything's gonna be good. His sister Deborah knows he's a serial killer. She's helping him hide Hannah and his son so they can move to Argentina safely. So, series finale goes like this: Saxon is on Dexter's trail. Saxon kills his own mother, and that leads Dexter to verify Saxon as a target to kill. So, Dexter has Saxon in his kill room he set up for him. Saxon gets loose. Deborah's on his trail because Dexter knows. Deborah finds out a tip on Dexter that he might go kill somebody. So Deborah's in the scene. Saxon flees. Saxon shoots Deborah. We don't think Deborah's gonna die. Because why would Deborah just die because of a tragic accident where she walks into a scene where she really wasn't supposed to be and gets shot and killed? We're not expecting that at all. So then, Saxon's on the run. Dexter's family is ready to go to Argentina. Tickets paid for, that terminal, everything's looking good. And then Hannah goes to the bathroom. And just, it didn't, she could have held it. I feel like she was just setting herself up to allow somebody to see her there. You know what I mean? Like she just went to the bathroom and gave it a chance for them to get caught. So, bam, Elway walks in. Elway is on the trail. And Elway sees Hannah there and plots to catch her on the train, on the bus to go to another airport. Because while all this is happening, a hurricane's about to hit Miami. Just it's perfect for Dexter. All this is happening in a pressure situation, and Dexter is still ready to work and kill, even though a hurricane's coming. Every sign is telling him to leave Miami, but he's just so driven and passionate to kill this man, who he knows is guilty of killing another man. So Saxon is caught at the hospital by the police before killing someone else. That he's crazy. He steals this guy's car from the veterinarian's place because he got stabbed by Dexter in the kill room that I forgot to mention. And he goes and gets to the veterinary place, gets fixed up, puts a gun to this guy's head, tells him to drive to the hospital where Deborah is. He goes in the hospital, tries to kill Deborah. The police arrest him and everything. So Dexter is still technically working at Miami Metro Homicide. So he goes in the room and takes Saxon's, his like information, his little blood thing to make sure he's, guilty of the crimes. You gotta do all that when you work in the homicide unit. But plot twist: Dexter takes the needle, shoves it through his hand, shoves it through his neck, kills Saxon, walks out. Everything's on video. Batista, Cena, he's sitting there just watching it. He's just like, he deserved it, you know what I mean? Just be quiet about it, you know what I mean? And just Joey Quinn's just loving it. He wanted to kill Saxon himself, so that's beautiful right there. Like, I think that's like perfect. I mean, because like Quinn at one time wanted to bust Dexter. Earlier season, he wanted to bust Dexter. He had proof, tangible evidence that Dexter was a serial killer. But none of that was ever built upon, and Quinn never even, you know, finished his process of finding Dexter guilty. So now he sees Dexter in the action of killing Saxon. Remember, there's no flashback, but there's multiple flashbacks during this final episode. When Deborah and Dexter having their emotional last scene together. There's flashbacks of them being younger when Dexter first had his son, when they were younger, growing up, and it's just like that would have been a perfect flashback to have right there. This is a series finale. You want to have flashbacks to remind people of why they've watched this show for such a long time. So after that, we got Saxon dead. Hannah's on the bus going to the other airport to get, ready to go to Argentina. But plot twist. Elway's on the trail. He's on the bus waiting for Hannah. But Hannah is also a serial killer too, so it's like she's not gonna just get caught and take a loss. You have that feeling about Hannah because Hannah was known for poisoning people and killing people. Like, it's just simple for her. Like, she does this. It's inevitable she's gonna get out. You know what I mean? But we don't know how, because we only know her killing people by poisoning. That means tricking them into drinking something or eating something. And Elway knows about her, so Elway's not gonna just take a drink or sip from anything. So Hannah does what she can only do in a situation, learn from her boyfriend. She gives Elway a drink. And he says no, because he's not dumb. Everybody knows what Hannah does. Okay? And then Elway says no to that. Okay, that's fine. Sit on the bus. Hannah takes out one of the needles that Dexter uses on all his victims. So perfect. Just perfect right there. Showing that Hannah really does love Dexter and just like does the stuff he does. Like, that's like love right there. That's beautiful to see in this series finale. Takes the needle, shoves it through his leg, passes out. She leaves. Her and her and um, her and Dexter's son are free to go to Argentina. Free, just ready to go. Like, nothing's holding them back except the fact that Dexter's not there. So let's just imagine they're gone already, okay? So now we have Dexter with Deborah. That emotional scene happened. They had all the flashbacks. Everything's perfect. Now Dexter feels the need to take her out on a gurney, sneak her past everybody, all the other doctors that are putting them on a ship to go to another hospital. Nobody stops Dexter. It's crazy. Nobody stops this man from taking his sister on a gurney out to the ocean and on his boat. So he takes his boat out to the middle of the ocean. Hurricane's coming. Gives his sister a proper burial in the ocean, which is mind-boggling because he kills all his victims and put them in the ocean. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. I just don't like that. Like, that wasn't right. You take all your victims and put them in the ocean. You don't put your sister that you love. You don't put her in the ocean too with those people with the same. I just feel like no matter what he did, the same ideal of his sister being in the ocean where he put his other killers, the other victims. It's just he really has no emotion, and it's crazy. Through all the seasons, through everything that happened, he still has no emotion. He took his sister, did exactly what he does to all his other victims. Puts them in the ocean, puts them in the water, body bag wrapped up, puts them in the ocean. I just think that's crazy. I think that he should have had something, some other emotion, some other way to express his love towards Deborah's life. And what did he do? He put her just like he does with all his other victims. And then bam, you think Dexter would turn the boat around and find his way back to the airport. But no, Dexter does what nobody thought he would do. He drives his boat straight into the hurricane. You're sitting there like, what is this guy doing? Perfect life, perfect situation for him to be happy, and he still doesn't want it. But we all know why. Dexter can't be happy with a woman. It's crazy. That's what it comes down to. Dexter cannot be happy with Hannah for the rest of his life. So Dexter, what he does, what he knows best, he just runs, gets away from the situation, hides, fakes a death, and everybody thinks, oh, he's just dead. He rows boat into a hurricane. Who survives that? You know what I mean? Who survives a hurricane? Like nobody does. But you know what? Who can? Dexter. Perfect situation right here. So Dexter does it, but we don't know where he's at. And the show just goes black. Like you don't know what even happened. So twisted, so mind just like crazy. Like that's perfect though for Dexter because that's exactly what you've been experiencing for the last 8 seasons. Dexter doing crazy things that nobody can explain. And he just comes out and finds ways to do them, and just nobody really explains them. And he doesn't explain them to himself, and he understands why he does it. But we here watching the show don't get it, and that's what drives us crazy, and that's why we love to watch Dexter. And I think that when we saw Hannah and Dexter's son sitting in Argentina in a little coffee shop, a nice little time. She's reading a little, I think, magazine, and she just sees Dexter says the paper say Miami homicide blood spatter analyst dies in hurricane. Now I think she's a little unsettled, but she doesn't show it, and I think that's perfect. She doesn't show it because she has basically her son now. Her son now, basically, because Dexter's been dead. So her son now that she takes him for a little ice cream, walks away, scene ends. That's perfect. I think that's really what you expect out of a TV that the show Dexter. You expect, you know, eventful things to happen and then no explanation after. Nothing. You don't get why she left. You don't get why she asked him to go get ice cream. You don't get why she doesn't seem sad or hurt. She doesn't understand why she doesn't tell Dexter's son. Like it's just it happens. Done. Spring goes black again. Now for the major plot twist, we see a big lumber yard. We're thinking, roll the credits, dude. Like, why is this show still not over? And then Dexter shows up. Faked his own death. Only Dexter could, you know what I mean? And he's there working at a lumber yard, goes into his room by himself, don't see a bedroom, don't see anything. You see one window and a table. Sits down on the table, stares at the window, looks back, show's over. You've dedicated the past 2 to 3 months of your life watching Dexter, and that's how it finishes. Right there. And that's Dexter at its peak. No explanation. Events happen. You are sitting there, stuck to the screen, puzzled and in love. I am Deontay Nicholas. I approve this message. Comment anything and how you feel about what I just talked about, my reaction to this, and how I feel, and how I break this stuff down to really get the feel of why we watched Dexter and why the series finale was just so enticing. Like this video, subscribe to my page. Thank you.